Welcome to Pause and Play. I'm Jessica. This is your pocket companion, a place to pause, to play, and to find your way back home to yourself. You don't have to do anything, just be here. Guidepost 17. Pause, slow down. Reclaiming space, time, and breath in a speed-obsessed world. Slowing down isn't falling behind, it's coming back to yourself. Sit quietly for a moment, close your eyes, take a long, slow inhale, and an even slower exhale. Feel your shoulders drop, feel your breath return to rhythm. Whisper, I am allowed to pause. Repeat this 3 times. Let it settle in your bones. Pause. Slow down, not as a luxury, as a lifeline, as a reclamation, as the space where truth gets to breathe and your nervous system finds its way back to center. Slowness is not laziness, it's wisdom. We're taught to go faster, push harder, do more, but speed often takes us away from ourselves. It numbs, distracts, disconnects. This mantra invites you to interrupt that momentum, to remember that rest is not earned, it is essential. Slowing down isn't stopping, it's listening. It's tending. It's honoring your own rhythm, not the world's expectations. Personal story. Mornings felt like battlefields. I prepped the night before, breakfast, clothes, bags, shoes, all in the hope that we make it out the door on time. But it rarely worked. A last-minute diaper blowout, a lost shoe, a child who needed extra snuggles or a longer goodbye. The clock did not care. And I hated how it made me feel. When we were running late, I became a whirlwind, barking orders, snapping at the people I loved most. My voice sharp, my body tense. I told myself it was about responsibility, about teaching them to respect time, but deep down, I knew it wasn't about the clock. It was about control, about anxiety, about my own nervous system spiraling under the pressure of invisible expectations. One morning as chaos erupted around us, I looked at their faces, tense, small, stressed. I saw myself in them, and I didn't like what I saw. So I sat down right there in the middle of the mess. I put a hand on my heart and breathed, slowly, grounded, present. I didn't say much. I just regulated myself first. And in that pause, something shifted. My own inner storm had been fueling the chaos, but I could be the calm. I could anchor us. That moment became a turning point. I stopped letting the clock dictate the quality of our connection. Of course, we still had places to be, but I stopped making being on time more important than being in rhythm with each other. I reframed what success looked like. We weren't late, we were connected. We were not rushed, we were present. Over time, I began to practice this pause more often. A breath before reacting, a moment of silence before speaking, a softening instead of a snap. I stopped equating speed with strength. I stopped believing that urgency made me a better parent or a better person. Eventually, I began to feel something unexpected. Space. I noticed the way light moved across the floor, the sound of breath, the weight of emotion, grief, joy, wonder. all alive within me. Pausing did not make me fall behind. It brought me home to myself. And in that stillness, I remembered who I truly am and who I want to be. Science meets soul. Chronic speed and overstimulation keep us in a state of sympathetic activation, or fight or flight, which over time leads to burnout, inflammation, and disconnection. Slowing down through breath, movement, or rest activates the parasympathetic nervous system. This restores balance, enhances regulation, and promotes healing. The pause helps rewire our nervous systems for presence, not just productivity. When we never stop, we can't feel, we can't reflect, we can't heal. We lose access to the wisdom inside of us. Slowing down helps us live more intentionally, love more deeply, and lead more truthfully. You don't have to keep up with a world that's lost its rhythm. You can choose a different pace, your pace. Try this. Begin your day with a screen. Try this. Daily practices. Begin your day without a screen, just breath, light, and silence. Practice slow walking, meditation. Choose one task today to do 50% slower than usual. Use a timer to take one 5-minute pause midday. Eat one meal without distraction. Chew slowly. Notice, flavor, savor. Create a no-rush morning once a week. Lie on the floor for 10 minutes and do nothing. Watch clouds. Watch shadows. Watch your breath. Practice saying, "Let me think about that," before responding. End your day with a body scan or long exhale ritual. Use a calming scent to anchor you. Choose silence over input for 30 minutes. Let something remain undone and see what happens. Stretch or yawn without rushing. Walk slower on purpose. Notice how it feels. Pause prompt. Where in my life do I feel rushed? What am I afraid will happen if I slow down? What is my body trying to tell me? What part of me longs for pause? How do I feel about rest, honestly? Where am I numbing through speed? What stories do I carry about productivity and worth? When do I feel most present? What does enough feel like? How can I begin to live slower? What signals does my nervous system send when I need to pause? How do I override my body's needs? What rhythms feel nourishing? What do I discover when I stop? What do I want to protect my energy for? The pause is not the problem. It's the place where answers live. It's where breath returns, where clarity settles, where the swirl stops spinning. Slowing down helps you hear what's true, and that's where change begins. Play prompts. Make a slow joy list of activities that calm you. Create art using slow, sweeping motions. Have a slow tea ceremony for one. Doodle without agenda, just slow movements. Sing a lullaby to yourself. Stack rocks or arrange objects into a balanced sculpture. Listen to an instrumental song while lying on the floor. Let your pen move slowly across the page in loops. Do one thing as slowly and intentionally as possible. Play a calming sensory game. Touch, listen, trace. Press flower petals between pages. Take slow motion videos of nature. Create a simple mandala with pebbles, beads, or seeds. Make a sensory rich pause box with comforting items. Try sloth yoga. Just stretch and rest. Play doesn't have to be wild. It can be quiet, gentle, spacious. Soft play heals the nervous system. It invites delight in slowness. It reminds us that not all joy is loud. Let stillness be your playground. Integration practices. Schedule unstructured time into your calendar. Choose rest even when everything feels urgent. Keep a slowness journal. Track your energy, not just your output. Practice 4-7-8 breathing daily. Protect the first 15 minutes of your morning. Leave margin between meetings, tasks, and transitions. Create screen-free hours. Invite slowness into chores, folding, sweeping, cooking. Learn the art of enough for today. Name one thing you'll stop rushing. Practice Sabbath or tech-free Sundays. Say no without guilt. Let your nervous system lead your schedule. Honor your need to do less, and let that be holy. Slowness is sacred. It doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're listening. The world may keep spinning fast, but you don't have to. You get to live at the pace of presence, breath, and being. You're not behind. You're becoming. Art therapy prompts. Paint with watercolor, slow, layered, meditative. Create a collage that evokes stillness. Draw spirals that expand and soften. Illustrate a clock with no hands. Use muted tones to depict peace. Fill a page with slow, repetitive patterns. Sculpt a small pause stone to hold. Trace your breath across the page. Design a visual calendar with space and flow. Turn a daily ritual into visual art. Make an artful reminder that says pause. Create a symbolic visual of too much and just enough. Draw a resting animal and let that energy guide you. Design your own slowness symbol. Use natural elements, leaves, sand, shells in your art. Space for personal exploration. Journal prompt. What would my life look like if I truly embraced slowness? Doodle prompt. Draw what peace feels like in your body. Collage prompt. Create a visual map of your ideal slow day. I am allowed to slow down. I honor the pause. This affirmation is a permission slip. It reminds you that you are not here to hustle constantly. You are here to feel, to heal, to be. Let this be the space where you remember what matters. Almost everything will work again if you unplug it for a few minutes, including you. Anne Lamott. Slowness isn't selfish, it's soul-keeping. The world will ask us to rush, but your inner wisdom will whisper, slow down, pause, breathe, be. And in that pause, you'll find your way back to yourself. Community invitation. How are you practicing slowness in your life? What does pausing look like for you? Share your rhythms, rituals, and gentle reminders, and let's honor the sacred art of slowing down together. Before you go, I want to recognize what you just did. You showed up, you stayed, and you allowed yourself to slow down. Today, you practice pausing, and in doing that, you cared for your nervous system. You loved yourself through stillness, and every time you do that, your system learns that you don't have to live in urgency. You are leaving this episode differently than when you arrived, because now there is a part of you that pauses sooner. And I want you to know, I see you. Carry this with you. You are allowed to move at your own pace. I'll meet you here again soon. Pause and play.